Good morning, truckers. I'm Josh Jones. 7 new victims were found last night in the Grayson Cemetery, the newest slayings of the Clintonville slasher. Wait, hold on. It's just in. We have a video, apparently, of the Clintonville slasher, but I must warn you, viewer discretion is advised. It looks like we found his last victim. My name is Lurch Frankenfox, and I hide in the shadows of this small town. And you are my latest victim. I am the Clintonville Slasher. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Clintonville Slasher. I am your host, Lurch Frankenfox. Today, I'm joined by Dan Phillips of Horrorpunk's Not Dead. How you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
Just great. Thanks for being here.
All good, brother.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Dan.
Right, so I'm from the middle of the UK. I guess you can call it the home of heavy metal. So Birmingham, where Black Sabbath come from, Duran Duran come from, you know, all of those amazing bands. Very industrious area, so there's a lot of factories and just, you know, it's not very picturesque. You wouldn't come here on vacation.
I might come there. I might come hang out.
There's a lot of pubs, so
yeah.
You know, there's at least that.
That's cool. So tell me how you guys got started with Horrorpunk's Not Dead.
So basically, I've been sort of doing radio and podcasts for probably about 4 or 5 years, and it was initially just metal as such. It was more extreme stuff, late night sort of, you know, music, and I think I just sort of got bored with it, to be honest. So I've always been a fan of Horrorpunk anyway from my youth, so it was nice to sort of give back a little, I suppose. I mean, there's a couple of radio stations and podcasts that cover Horrorpunk in general, but I don't know, it just feels like it seems to be sort of not forgotten about, but like it's not sort of on everybody's priority list, as it were. So
right.
I thought, I suppose with my sort of expertise, well, limited expertise, my experience in sort of making like half-arsed podcast radio stuff, I could sort of give it a go and just try and, you know, bring all the bands sort of up together, get everybody sort of on the same page, you know,
right,
sort of get seen, you know, spoken about more, I guess.
Very cool. Very, very cool. What is your favorite horror film?
Alright, blimey. I would have to say, for a straight up horror film, I'm a sucker for a zombie movie, so I would probably say Zombie Flesh Eaters, Lucio Fulci. I think it's Zombie in the US.
Yeah, it might be. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, dude.
I'm gonna have to put it on my watch list now. That sounds
Definitely.
Awesome. I also like a good zombie movie. So my favorite zombie movie of all time is Automation Transfusion. Have you ever heard of it? It's got like a half zombie on the very front of the cover.
Right.
I think I'm saying it wrong. Anyway,
No.
it's a B-rated horror film that came out in like 2006. And it's like way before, it predates 28 days and 28 weeks later. This is where zombies are running. So you're like dead sprint running, like screws up your entire zombie dreams, man. So I agree with you, man. Good zombie films are the way to go.
Well, this is it. It's always a bit of a. I always get disappointed when like a zombie movie or series has promise, and they can either run or talk. I mean, exception to the rule there, I suppose, has got to be Return of the Living Dead. Yeah. Because, you know, that's fine.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Well, exactly. I mean, to be fair, they're only really saying brains anyway, so or,
right.
You know, just talking about the pain. So yeah, it's just as soon as they start running, I sort of tend to tune out and sort of it's a tough one. It's not really. I mean, I'm really sort of. It has to be a Romero sort of zombies, like sleepwalking zombie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sort of Walking Dead, as it were.
Yeah, definitely. What got you into horror?
Oh, blimey. I think, I mean, this might be a weird one, but I think I saw Terminator 2 way too young.
Great movie.
So, yeah, I mean, at the time, my parents were separated, so I was seeing my dad at the weekend. And yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Mum says I can watch this, no problem. And he's like, yeah, whatever. So that was just like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that to myself, but I've seen no long-lasting ill effects anyway.
Right. That's a good movie though. Do you prefer the second one?
I don't think they've ever sort of topped it, have they? For the sort of Terminator lore.
No.
That's basically the one. I mean, to be fair, one is okay. 2 is just impossibly good. Like they just couldn't better it.
No,
so
they couldn't.
3 by comparison, it was just like a massive step down.
And yeah, and it's funny because every movie they made after that just was like walking down the ladder. Like every movie they made, it was a step down from the last one they made. Like 2, they top notch. That was like probably James Cameron's best work. That and Aliens.
Yeah.
But James Cameron's best movie, I would totally agree, would be Terminator 2. Special effects wise, I mean, he put so much effort into that movie. It was so good, and that outdoes. And there's not a lot of sequels that outdo the original film, and that one tops notches. That one.
And to be fair, the soundtrack is all right as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I know that you guys do a lot of interviews with Horrorpunks.dead. What would be your dream interview?
Wow. I guess it's going to be quite cliche for me to say Danzig, but I wouldn't mind speaking to Danzig and potentially not have him be a dick.
Good luck.
It would be nice if I could actually have a conversation with the man,
right?
Because especially these days, as he's like gotten older, I just don't think he has the time for people anymore. Like he's kind of cut his teeth, he's done his stuff, and interviews are like a chore to the man, it seems. So it'd be nice to actually have a decent conversation with him where he was actually sort of responsive.
Right. Okay, so I asked this to everybody that's on the show, but if you're stuck on a desert island and you can only take one band and one of their albums with you, who you taking?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I would have to say Leaving the Tomb by the Crimson Ghosts.
Good.
Simply
good choice.
Because that was my real first foray into horror punk after the Misfits. So I heard the song Sons of the Zodiac on a sampler CD for a magazine here in the UK, and that was basically sort of, it opened my mind to sort of all kinds of horror music. I mean, I actually discovered Danzig before I discovered the Misfits. And then I sort of didn't put 2 and 2 together, that Danzig and the Misfits Danzig was the same guy. As such, it was a weird thing. Like, it was back when the internet wasn't so prevalent. Like, we were still working with that weird dial-up stuff. And like, you couldn't be on the computer when the phone was ringing and all this kind of stuff. So it was just like, you were finding things out in magazines and things like that. Like now you can literally just type anything into a computer or the phone and you can have information within like 2 seconds. Yeah. Whereas back then you were literally like uncovering these secrets and finding stuff out for yourself, which is neat. Yeah, totally.
What would be your dream show to see? Dream horror punk show?
Oh. Now we were talking about this, John and I. In fact, we could probably do with circling back to the Horrorpunk stuff, because I've missed a lot of stuff out for the Horrorpunk's Not Dead. So I think I've said if we were to book a show, which to be fair we are thinking about doing, it's going to have to be Crimson Ghosts for me, simply because they are that band for me. I would have to try and bring back out of retirement these guys, some more paramedics. These guys, they're friends of mine.
Oh, cool.
And basically, we together we did a run of 4 shows last year around Halloween, and they basically have decided not to do anything else. I mean, to be fair, they hadn't done anything for a few years, so they sort of gave us a new album, they did a few shows, and it was amazing, but it's kind of like reinvigorated everybody to them, except them. So they're happy to just go back to sort of, back to their homes, back to their jobs and the rest of it, and everybody else is sort of like,
right.
I really want it.
Yeah.
I suppose a third band, just because you've got to have two supports, I think.
Yeah.
To warm you up. I would actually really like to see the Meteors, UK psychobilly band, simply because I've had tickets to see them at least 4 times, and I've never managed to get there for some reason or another.
Oh, really?
So it would be good if I could actually sort of see them once before something happens to either me or them.
Right. American Horrorpunk band in your show.
Oh, American Horrorpunk. I mean, to be honest, at the moment, I'm really, really digging Evelyn's Casket, Darker Days, all of these, like the new wave, like the sort of bands that are sort of at the forefront right now. 5 Cent Freak Show, obviously. Those like. To be fair, they are touring together, so just bring that show bring it to the UK.
Yeah, obvious. Yeah, please do. That would be awesome. So what's next for you guys?
I mean, to be honest, we're just we were on a radio station and we've left there. There was no bad blood or anything. It was literally just a matter of we felt a little bit tied down to the schedule. So we wanted to sort of do exactly what we were doing there, but just on a more lackadaisical scale. So we could literally just decide when and where and what to do. So we're sort of just doing it in a way now where it's going to be sort of radio show, interview, just literally on a weekly basis.
Right.
And it's just going to be YouTube and podcast websites, to be honest.
Awesome. And where can people find your podcast on Apple Music?
So basically everywhere apart from Deezer and Spotify, simply because of their music copyright bullshit that they have. So, I mean, we could put it on Spotify, but it would be taken down, and it's it's a waste of time. So so you're talking Apple, Spreaker, Stitcher, I think, what's that one? Podcast One. All of the main podcasting websites, you can find it. We've got pretty good distribution.
Very nice. And if you want to follow Dan or Horrorpunks.Dead, all their links will be linked in the description box below. I want to thank you very much, Dan, Mr. Phillips, for being here. I look forward to hearing more from you guys. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your mom. Stay fucking horror. We'll see you next time. Don't go away. I got a few more questions. Everybody else, later days. Thank you so much, sir.